Merry Christmas!
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Lovely weather for staying right together with you. Outside the snow is falling, friends are calling you. Come on, come on, come on. Lovely weather for staying right together with you, with you, with you. Giddy up, let's go. We're riding in a wonderland of love. Giddy up, it's great.
What's up guys, welcome back to another installment of Counting Down to Christmas with me, Polished Blissfully, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how I created these ultra glam festive Christmas bauble nails complete with a little 3D bow, and I'm also using some glitter from the Glitter Arty Nails advent calendar. So for this look I went right back to basics with some polygel extensions, and I did some Vamp tips as well. So if you guys would like to see a full tutorial on how I created this nail design, then just keep on watching. So guys, diving right in with today's tutorial, and I've already begun by preparing my nail tips today. The nail tips I'm using are new to me. These are some Vamp tips that I recently got from eBay. They are absolutely perfect and super pointy, and I am so in love with them. So I've already gone ahead and done my nail prep. I've applied my tips. I have then put a base coat over that so I could just go in with the polygel extensions. So moving on with the polygel part of this design, and I'm first going to be using this Your Sugar polygel. I'm actually almost out of this. This is the second tube of this that I have used up. I absolutely love this stuff. I have used the white one and also this one here. I really love it. It is super cheap, available on AliExpress, and is amazing to work with. And when you think that you're sometimes spending upwards of £60 or £70 per tube of polygel, to be getting this one for a couple of pound and it to work as well as it does, I am blown away with it. So starting with the ring finger, I'm first going in and I'm doing the reverse method, and I'm basically just forming a really sharp pointy nail bed area that is going to go with these Vamp tips. So I am just going in and I'm basically trying to get the tip of my nail bed to match the tip of my extension, and then I'm just refining the side walls so they're nice and sharp, fixing the cuticle area, removing any excess from around my skin, and then I pop that into my LED light for 60 seconds. So the plan with this is you just basically want to make sure your sidewalls are nice and refined before you go in and pop this in your light. If you could get the sidewalls as nice and sharp as you possibly can, then it makes filing so much easier later on. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect at this stage, but just try your hardest to get it as sharp as you possibly can, so when you do go in with your file, it doesn't take you forever in a lifetime to actually file the sidewalls. So for the rest of the nails, I'm going in and I am doing a full cover nail on all of those nails. Again, just using up the rest of this tube. So as you can see, I first add my blob of polygel to the stress area. I then work up a small amount into that cuticle area, make sure it is not touching my skin, and then I drag the remainder down the rest of the nail to form that point, and then I remove any excess, fix underneath the nail to make sure none of the polygel has leaked under there, and then again I pop those nails into my LED light to fully cure. And then because these tips are super pointy, I really wanted to make sure I was pinching them till they had a proper C-curve and all that good stuff. So after 30 seconds, I'm going in with my pinching tool and I'm just going to hold that on there while that cools down for about 10 to 15 seconds. As you can see, I pinch it as I go along, and then I remove it and cure it for the remainder of the 30 seconds. And here is a little look at how the nails look once I have applied all the polygel to all of the nails and filed and buffed the nails into shape. I always file my base into shape before I go in with my gel polishes because I like to work on a smooth canvas. So now I'm going in with Scorch Red Pear, which is an absolutely beautiful sort of really dark red shade of gel polish, and I'm so in love with it. It's from their autumn collection that was just recently released. So I'm going to be filling in the whole bottom half of that nail tip with with that, cleaning up as I go along. And then I'm also going to be painting the pointer finger with the same colour. And as you can see, this polish is almost perfect in one coat. It's really thick and nice and creamy to work with. They do not flood the cuticles. They're great at self-leveling. And again, they are super cheap as well. So it's a new brand to me, but I'm actually really liking their gel polishes. They work fabulously and they are so opaque. So again, I do 2 coats on each nail, and then I'm going in with number 74 Toasted Almond from Victoria Vynn, and then I'm painting the middle finger, the pinky and the thumb with that one. And then for the start of the nail art, I'm first going to be doing a Christmas bauble on the middle finger. So I'm using red pear once again by Scorch and a really tiny detail brush to draw the bottom half of my bauble. So I just take my time to form a really even circle and make sure I have painted it nice and even so it doesn't curl once it goes into the light. So you don't want this part of the nail to be too thick. I do build it up in 2 coats. So I go in with a nice even layer on the first coat and then add the opacity on the second one. Then using Kodi number 26 gel paint, which is a gorgeous gold shade, I am going to be drawing the string of my bauble and also the little cap that the string attaches to. So again, once I'm happy with that, I pop that into my light to flash cure so I could go ahead and move on with the rest of my design, and this isn't going anywhere. So now I'm going in with my glitter application, and to start that I'm going to be first going in with the ring finger and Ink London's Eye Gel in Clear to adhere my glitter to. So I add a thin layer of that onto that red tip. Then I go in with this absolutely beautiful glitter. So this is Santa's Cookie Crew from Glitter Arty Nails Advent Calendar, and it's a really beautiful multi-mix of gold. So we have various grades of gold in here, tinsel, little hexes and some fine grades of glitter as well. So I do 2 layers of this on the nail, cleaning up as I'm going along, and again double curing that so the light penetrates that layer. And then I go in and add some more glitter to that little bauble, and I clean up as I go along as well, just making sure the glitter is inside the bauble and I have a nice neat application before I pop it into my LED light. And guys, just look at how sparkly that glitter is. The holographic in it is so strong and it is absolutely beautiful. So this is one of my absolute favourites from that advent calendar. It is so pretty. So to tie in the rest of my design with that colours, for the pointer nail I'm using some tri-coloured foil. So the foil is in silver, copper and also some gold as well. So I'm going to be adding this going down the side of the pointer nail onto the sticky layer of that gel. And then for the thumb, I decided to do a little marble effect, tying in all of the colours I used in my design. So I'm first going in with red pear, adding some blobs to the nail, and then I go in with Toasted Almond, and then finally another Scorch polish. This one is called Blanched Almond and is a really pretty peachy, almost rose gold glitter. So once I'm happy with how much polish I have on the nail, I'm now going in with a fine detail brush and I'm just mixing those colours together till I have an even application on that whole nail, and then I pop that into my LED light for 60 seconds since we are adding a little bit extra gel to this nail. And then my next step is to go in with some gelish top off, just so I have something to adhere my glitter to. And then again, I'm going in with that Santa's Cookie Crew, adding it in an S shape going down the nail. And then when I'm happy with how much glitter I have built up on that nail, I do go in with my gel brush again and some isopropyl alcohol just to tidy up the shape of that glitter and to make sure it's nice and even. And then that goes back into my LED light for 60 seconds. And then my next step is to go ahead and encapsulate all of those nails that I had glitter on. So I'm first going in and adding some of that Ink London Eye Gel in Clear to my little bauble. I also encapsulate the pinky, which I have done a full application of that Santa's Cookie Crew, and then I also encapsulate my ring finger as well. So for my little 3D bow, I'm going to be using some Nubar Red Azelea acrylic powder and this little nail art mould that I got from AliExpress. And I'm just using that red acrylic powder to fill in that whole bow. I am doing it in small beads just to make sure I have pressed that acrylic powder, right into that mould and it completely covers and I get the full shape. I then allow that to dry. You do not want it to get fully dry because then you're not going to be able to mould it to the shape of your nail. So what I did first was when I took it out of the mould, it was still slightly wet, and then I used a cap from one of my gel brushes just to push it down so it formed a slight C-curve on that little bow. So again, when I popped it onto my nail, it didn't just sit flat, it sat curved around the shape of my nail and basically adhered better to the nail. So again, I left it for about, I would say about a couple of minutes. You do not want it to fully dry. So I'm now going in with some clear acrylic powder from CJP, I think it was, and then I'm using that to adhere my little bow to it. And as you can see, I'm just pressing it down as it's drying, so again it doesn't completely flatten out and poke up. And then on the areas at the sides, I am filling that with some more acrylic powder so it completely sticks to the nail and I don't snag it on anything. And then I allow that to completely set so the little bow is secured to that nail, and then I just remove any excess acrylic powder that is poked through. So here is a quick look at my design once I have buffed and shaped the nails, and I've also went ahead and done a design on my other hand that matches but doesn't. I like to have matchy but doesn't kind of nails, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm now going in to add a top coat to all of these nails to bring out the shine of my glitter, and the top coat I'm using is Gelish Top Off, one of my favourite top coats, super shiny and I absolutely adore it. It gives the most glossy finish to your glitters. So I'm applying this to all of the nails and then once again popping that into my LED light for 60 seconds, and I just cannot with the sparkle on this glitter. It is so beautiful. And then as always guys, my last and final steps in my manicure routine was to go ahead and wash and sanitize my hands, and I'm now going in with my favourite cuticle oil, which as you guys know is Baroness X in peppermint. I absolutely adore this stuff, it smells amazing, and that is this design complete. And finally guys, that is us reached the end of this installment of Counting Down to Christmas, and I really hope you guys enjoyed my take on these 3D Christmas bauble nails. I really love how they turned out with the contrast with the silvers, golds and that really dark red. I am so in love with it and I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial too. And remember, if you're interested in any of the products that I've used in today's video, please check the description box and I will leave everything linked down there for you guys so you can go and check it out for yourself. And as always, if you did enjoy today's video, please give me a thumbs up, I would totally appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Kylie, I am a complete nail polish addict, and on this channel you will find everything from nail art to swatches, reviews and the occasional haul. So if that's something that piques your interest, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click that notifications bell. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!